This is 10.3 part 5, and this is the last video of this section. So it says given triangle ABC is similar to triangle XYZ, we have to solve for X and Y. Okay, so again, I'm going to color code things. So I'm looking at triangle ABC, so AB is the first part of it, so I'm going to make that yellow. And in the second triangle XYZ, XY will correspond, or sorry, will be similar to AB. All right, so let's do the next one. BC, I'm going to make that pink. So I look at the other triangle and now I use YZ. So YZ, I'm going to use that. And that leaves us with A going to C and X going to Y. And I'm going to make that green. Now that I have things color coded, let's set up ratios. So if I look at green, I'm just going to put a little note, green, I have X over 10. So I'm doing the smaller triangle over the larger one. And it equals pink. Pink is the smaller triangle side is 6 over the pink side, which is Y. And then yellow. So the smaller triangle in yellow was 4 over the yellow side with a bigger one, which is 5. So I'm looking at this, and I know I have to use this 4/5 to be able to find X and Y, the unknowns, okay? So I'm going to go after X. So I'm going to set X over 10 is set equal to 4/5. At this point, I cross multiply, just like I did in the other problems, and I get 4 times 10, which is equal to 5 times X. 4 times 10 is 40, which equals 5X. Now, to get X by itself, I have to divide off both sides by 5. So 40 divided by 5 is 8. So that side X equals 8 units. Now I'm going to go after Y because it said I have to do both. So again, I'm going to use that 4/5, and now I'm going to set that yellow triangle equal to the green triangle, which is X over 10. Okay, so again, cross multiply, same steps. 5 times X equals 4 times 10. So 5X equals 40. And I'm just making sure I did that. No, I did not do that right. I was like, wait, these are the same numbers. Guys, I did it wrong. So let me just erase this and fix it. So again, we're going to use the yellow. So 4 over 5, but I want Y. So I'm looking at the pink one, which is 6 over Y. Now we're good. Now cross multiply. So I get 4 times Y equals 6 times 5. So 4Y equals 30. Getting Y by itself, I'm going to divide both sides by 4. So on my calculator, I'm going to take and divide 30 by 4. And I got 7.5. So if you don't have your calculator out, go get one because you're going to need it for the rest of these, okay? This next problem asks me to find the length of BC. So I'm going to color code everything. So we have BD, which is the complete length of this, and CD, which is the smaller triangle's length. And then the base I'm going to make pink. So we're going to have AD and ED. And then I'm going to do in green the corresponding, I can't remember saying corresponding, similar sides. So AB and EC. Okay? So I'm going to set up AB, the bigger triangle, going to the smaller triangle, which is EC. Length of yellow is going to be the whole length is BD, and the smaller one is CD. And then finally, pink is the whole length is AD, and that's going to be set equal to ED. Okay, so again, I had the green triangle. This is the larger one, larger triangle over the smaller, okay? And then BD was yellow. And then AD and ED is pink. Okay, so now I'm going to put values in. So the value of AD, or the length of AD, is 12 centimeters over EC, which is 8. In yellow, BD is unknown over CD, which is 5. And finally in pink, AD, I don't know what that length is, so I'm going to say it's y over ED, which is 10. Now, they're asking me to find the length of BC. So I'm going to use green and yellow, okay? I'm going to ignore pink altogether because it didn't ask me for anything about pink. All right, so I'm going to use 12 over 8 equals yellow, which was x over 5. Now I'm going to cross multiply. So this becomes 8 times x equals 12 times 5. 12 times 5 is 60. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 8. And I get 7.5. And that's centimeters. Okay, so remember that didn't answer the question because I just found the total length of BD. So the total length is 7.5 centimeters. Okay, I do know that the length of CD is 5 centimeters. So if I want the length of BC, I'm going to have to subtract BD minus CD, okay? And that'll give me the length of BC. So if I do 7.5 minus 5 centimeters, that gives me 2.5, and that is the length of BC. Okay, so this required me to do 2 steps. And you will have a question like this on the test, just letting you know. All right, let's look at the next one. Find the unknown lengths of the similar triangles for x and y. Again, I'm going to color code stuff. So I'm going to start with the bases. Do you see the 2 little notches? Those 2, it's telling us that these are similar. So I'm going to mark that in green. All right, and then on the hypotenuse of this right triangle, I'm going to let that be pink. And those 2 are similar. And finally, the height of the triangle, or the leg of the right triangle, I'm going to make yellow. Okay, so let's set that up. Pink is going to be y over 78. So I'm going to do the left-hand side triangle over the right-hand side triangle. Okay, and then I'm going to do green. So x over 72. And then I'm going to use yellow, which is 42 over 30. Okay, so I'm going to have to use this 42 over 30 to be able to find x and y. So let's go after x. So if I go after x, I'm going to use green and yellow. Okay, so green was x over 72, and that's equal to 42 over 30. So if I cross multiply here, I get 30 times x equals 42 times 72. Now I'm going to have to multiply that out. So 42 times 72 equals 3024, or 3024. Now to get x by itself, I'm going to divide off that 30. And when I do that, I get x equals 100.8. Okay, now I'm going to go after y. Okay, so to go after y, I need pink and I need the yellow. Okay, so pink was y over 78, and that's equal to 42 over 30. So again, to solve this, I have to cross multiply. So 30 times y equals 42 times 78. So I'm going to take 42 times 78, my calculator, and I get 3,276. And now I have to get y by itself, so I'm going to divide off the 30 on both sides. So y equals 109.2. Okay, so I just did what they asked me to. I found the length of side x and the length of side y. Okie dokie. I think this is the last problem. So suppose you're standing such that a 30-foot tree is directly between you and the sun. If you are standing 75 feet away from the tree and the tree casts a 90-foot shadow, how tall could you be and still be completely in the shadow of the tree? So what I'm going to do here is, again, color code. So this makes a right triangle. So the hypotenuse I'm going to make green, and then I'm going to make pink the base, and then I'm going to make yellow the height. Okay, so we have this situation going on. All right, so I'm going to actually redraw both of these. I'm going to draw the big triangle. Okay, let me get rid of this down here. So the big triangle, the height is 30. We have 90 feet, and I don't know what this is. So I'm going to let this actually be A, side A. Okay, I'm going to color code those again just because I'm going to have to set up a ratio. So the height is yellow, the base is pink, and the hypotenuse is green. Okay, so the smaller triangle, let's look at that, the little guy. Okay. So the height of this person is what I'm looking for. So I'm going to let that be world famous X. The base of that triangle, I'm looking for the length right here. And to find that, I have to take 90, which is the total length, minus 75. And when I do that, I get 15. So the base of the small triangle is 15. And I don't know what the hypotenuse is, so I'm going to say that's B. Okie dokie. So again, color code. So the hypotenuse is green, the base is pink, and the height is yellow. Okay? Now, if I put the ratios, I can write them out. So let's do green. So green with a larger triangle, so I'm going to put large over small. So the larger triangle green was A over smaller, which is B, and it's equal to pink. The larger triangle is 90 over the smaller one, which is 15, which equals green. I just did green. So no, it doesn't equal green, it equals yellow. So let's do yellow. Yellow, which the larger triangle is 30 over the side X. Okay, I'm going to have to use pink because those two sides are known in that ratio. And then remember, I'm trying to find the height of the person, and the height of that person is X. So I'm going to use yellow, which is 30 over X. So I'm going to put 90 over 15 equals 30 over X. Again, we're going to cross multiply these. So this becomes 90X equals 30 times 15. Okay, so 30 times 15 is going to give me 450. Now I'm going to take and divide 90 off of both sides. And this works out quite nice, because when you do the math, you get 5. So that person has to be 5 foot tall. Okay, and that is the end of 10.3 part 5. Thanks for watching. And now it's time you can practice your homework.